Welcome everybody to an exciting day of CSI 1. Today we're going to learn how to program. So in this class we're going to learn two different programming languages. The first programming language we're going to learn is Scratch. Scratch is a easy to learn. Oh, there we go. Wallpaper engine's finally loading. That was just a delay of like 5 minutes or something. Scratch is made by MIT and it is designed for new programmers that have never programmed before. So if you've never programmed before, this is perfect for you. If you have, then just knock yourself out. Go ahead and do, above and beyond on every homework assignment. It'll be great. So you're going to build one? Yeah. We'll probably do another PC building event at some point. So step one, go to scratch.mit.edu. And you'll come in here. Hopefully you've all done this before. It's on the setup section of the modules. You've all added me as your professor on it. So to get going, you just click on create, and this is going to put you inside of a blank program. So let me give you a little tour of what's going on in here. This area here is your program. Area over here is the output of the program. Right now we have a single actor on stage right now. This is Scratch. It is the logo of the Scratch project. It's a cat named Scratch. Over on the left-hand side, you have a palette. The palette has all the different commands you can give in Scratch. And you got the cat here. If you click on costumes, you can see there's two different sort of like frames of animation for Scratch. And you can record your own sounds. Comes with a meow built in. There is a backdrops option. Just kind of cut off on the bottom of the screen, it looks like. Let's see here if we can. There you go. And so we can choose a backdrop. And what we're going to do is just click on something like that, and you can see that Scratch here is now overlooking the ocean. Where is this? It kind of looks like... I don't know where this is. Yeah, it kind of reminds me of San Juan Capistrano a little bit, but I don't think it is. Oh. If anyone knows, let me know. So what we got here is that. So you can have different people. If you have different people on the stage, then we can have a bear or something. And so these actors can be dragged around on the stage. We've got a bear and a cat sharing a bench now. You can see all the different actors will appear here on the panel down here, and there's a scroll bar in case you have more than fit on one row. Each of the actors has a X and a Y location. So Scratch here is at -132, -76. So as I drag it to the right, you'll see that these numbers change. So the right edge of my screen is about 225, 250 maybe, and the left edge of the screen is around -250 or so. The bottom part is at like -200. The top part is positive 200, something like that. So you can see that the center of the screen is 0, 0. So if I were to set this to be 0, 0 manually, that's the middle of the screen. Okay. Use Scratch in middle school. Yeah, it's a very common teaching tool for learning programming. Because the hardest thing in computer science is the concepts in computer science. If you understand the conceptually what's happening, the programming usually flows pretty easy. When you have no real concept of what's happening, like if you're trying to solve a maze and you don't really know how, you're just like guessing, like, I don't know, every time I come to a intersection, I'm going to turn right. And you don't really know what you're doing. You just start trying different things. Like it becomes just this brutal process. Like it's just, oh man, like you'll spend 20 hours like trying to solve a maze, and you're just like, why is it not working? And You realize there's a loop in there and it just keeps making right-hand turns. You're like, oh man, all right, that's not going to work. You know, I need something else. Um, and so we're going to learn Scratch to sort of understand the basic concepts of computer science. And then we'll move into Python, our second programming language, later in the semester. So we'll do Scratch and Python. So I'm going to give Scratch the name of Scratch, and bear could be called bear. Why not? If I click on hide, vanishes, show it appears. I can have multiple backdrops, like I can have that. And go to Malibu, why not? And so, load surprise. So you can have different backdrops in your code. I don't know. Surprise me. Jungle, classroom, baseball field, the moon. Just go back to that. Okay. So that's sort of a tour. Your program runs when you click on the green flag here. That runs your program. And your program stops when you click on the red stop sign. Right now, I don't have a program, so when I click run, nothing happens. Okay? So let's do something. So each one of these actors, we've got Scratch the cat, we got Bear the bear. Each one of these actors can have their own program associated with them. And so basically each of the people kind of run their own program at the same time when you click run. So let's do something. Let's start off with a fun little thing. When the green flag is clicked, that is the beginning of our program. So when somebody clicks on the green flag, then let's scroll up to here. Let's have Scratch move 10 steps forward. Now watch how this works. I'm going to drag this piece here, and you can see how there's a little like indentation in it, right? If the thing lines up, you'll see the thing snap together like that. Now, what this means is every time somebody clicks the green flag, Scratch here will move 10 steps forward in whatever direction he's looking. So if I keep running this over and over again, it's going to start creeping up on the bear, and who knows, bad things might happen. If you want to delete something, you can detach it like that, and now nothing happens, right? Because it's not attached anymore. And you can just drag it off the side here to get rid of it. There's all sorts of different options for motion. You can have it rotate. One way, you can have it rotate the other way. You can have it go to a random position, and so it will teleport all over the field. The bear looks very annoyed at this, huh? You can give it a specific location to go to. So if I tell it to go to 0, 0, then it'll teleport there every time I click the flag. So it moves once, and then we're done with it. One thing I like to do in my programs is right when the program starts, I kind of reset everybody back to their original location. Like I will set their position back to the start here. I set their angle that they're looking to 90, and I'm just getting these numbers from over here in the bottom right corner right here. So like if I happen to move Scratch around or something when I hit play, it goes back to where it was to begin. And then I can do my animation or whatever it is. You can have it point towards the mouse pointer, and so whichever direction you're looking, it will look at. You can move it in the X direction. You can set its X location. You can change its Y location. Okay. What other things can you do? Now we're in the looks panel down here. We can have it say something. So when the green flag is clicked, it resets its position and it says hello for 2 seconds. You can have it think something. Thinking is exactly the same as saying something, except it uses the thought dialogue instead of the speech dialogue. And then 2 seconds later, it'll say hello. You can have it switch costumes. And so the costume is a frame of animation, essentially. Do they all have to be connected to go in order? Yeah, that's exactly right. So when you click the green flag, it first does this. It first resets its position. It then resets the direction it's facing. It then switches to the next costume. And so every time I hit the green flag, it does all 3 of those things in order. You can switch backdrops to Beach Rio. Boop, like that. So you can have different backdrops for, different scenes in your movie or something like that. You can have the thing get bigger every time. And then we can reset its size back to 100. You can change the color. It's funny. Clear graphic effects. There we go. We can have it vanish by hiding it. Boop. Not very useful now. We want to bring it back, show it. But this isn't usually how you code, right? Like you don't really want the user to have to edit your code and click green and flag a bunch of times and stuff like that. Are you able to make it stop mid animation? Yeah, you can always hit the red stop sign. So what we usually do when we do these things is we have a bunch of things that take place in order. So we'll typically have, the cat say something, and then the bear is like, "Yo, what's up?" And then the cat responds to it. So, but we'll get to that. I'm just kind of running through all the options here. You can have the cat meow. There you go. You change the pitch every time. So it's a higher pitch meow. You can make it louder. You can make it softer. You can raise the pitch. You can lower the pitch. So we'll set the pitch effect to, 70. My ear hurts from that high-pitched one. Yeah, you can make your own sprites for sure. The sound effect. Make your own. Let's see. Sorry. Right here, you can upload one, and you can put your own face in there if you want. It's up to you. So, the when green flag click thing is the sort of entry point into your code. You can actually have you can make your sprites interactive. So you can do something like this. You can actually have multiple of these yellow things here. These yellow things are like entry points into your code. So these things happen when the green flag is clicked, But you can make it like when the up arrow is pressed, we move the cat upwards. When down arrow is pressed, we move it downwards. And we can, well, you guys tell me. When up arrow key is pressed, what on the palette on the left-hand side here, which color do you think I'm going to find, move the cat upwards? And yep, blue indeed. So we can have its Y location. Location changed by 10. So now, watch, even without the game running, every time I hit up arrow, it moves up. And then when I run the game, it resets back to its original position. It's very useful stuff. This is exactly how they make Pixar movies. They're made in Scratch. And so we can do this sort of thing for up arrow, for down arrow. Change Y by -10. And we can do it for the left arrow and for the right arrow. And so X increases with a right arrow and X decreases with a left arrow. And so now if I use the arrow keys, right, left, up, down, I can actually just move this guy around. Okay. Cool. All right. So there's all sorts of different events that you can write. Now what you can see is that this is all on Mr. Scratch here, or Miss Scratch. I don't know what it is exactly. If I wanted to write a program on the bear, I could do that too by clicking on the bear down here. Now let's say that I'll just try the next one. When this sprite clicked, and then maybe when we click on the bear, it'll roar. Pop, really? Pretty sure that's not the sound that a bear makes. So let's go to record our own. Rawr. You can cut it. Rawr. Acceptable. Give it a name. Bear. And then back here in the code, we can, so that's under the sounds tab. Oh, the bear can stand up. That's cool. All right. So we will, maybe we'll change the costume. Switch costume to bear B so it stands up. We'll play sound bear. And then we will switch the costume back to bear A. Rawr. And it's just, rawr. Not bad. Kind of fun. Okay. So do the roar. If I scared anyone, I apologize. I know it was pretty realistic, and some people here might have been terrified by that. So that's another kind of thing that you can do. So you can make your actors in the world respond to arrow keys, right? You can make things happen when you click the green flag. Usually that starts the game when you click the green flag. You can also make sprites that activate when you click on them. It sounds like Sully from Monsters, Inc. For a second, I thought he made that noise. I need participation for scaring you. There you go. There is your participation for the week. All right. So, you thought, what do you mean for a second? I thought he made that noise. That's my recording. I just made it. Like as if you recorded it. You just saw me on the video. I just recorded it. That's me. It's not a real bear. Yeah. You're so lost. Like you would just roar. That's funny. Okay. So what other kinds of things can we do? Let's switch back to Scratch here. So you can have things trigger when the backdrop changes. Messages we're going to do in a future lecture on this. This is like Scratch Part 2 right there. But what I like to do is show you a forever loop. So when the flag is clicked, you can have different loops. Now, loops are a very important concept in computer science. It means to do something multiple times, right? So we can have the cat meow 3 times, let's say. So if you say repeat 3, and we put in here play meow until done. I feel like this question is coming up on the quiz. It was actually the professor making the sound. I've already written the quiz, unfortunately, and it's not on there. The quiz is on this kind of stuff. But maybe I can add it for you. I don't know. Can I do both at once? What? Oh, you want me to do a meow? Okay. Sure. Let's do that. Although I'm recovering from a cold right now, so my voice is maybe not cat-like enough. Meow. 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 Go with that one. That's a meow question mark. Meow. There we go. Okay. Meow. 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 It's a very uncertain cat. Meow. Meow. Oh, I just lost it. So what did you do in school today, Junior? Well, I watched my professor meow into a microphone for half an hour. Yeah. Shoot, I just lost that, didn't I? Okay. Record a new sound. Okay. Meow. 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 Yeah, my voice isn't quite there yet right now, but yeah. I'll do that. Okay. Meow, meow, meow. There you go. All right. Professor's having more fun than this always. Why do you think I teach? It's not to educate, it's just to have fun. So, Growl is the bear. I already did the bear. That's me. I'll tell you. All right. So yeah, so you can repeat something multiple times like that, and you can put multiple things in there, right? So you can have 2 sounds playing at once. Meow, meow, meow. If you want. Play sound until done. It waits until it finishes, but start sound, it'll continue on. So it's doing 2 at once. Meow, meow, meow. The choir of cat sounds. And if you want something to repeat forever, you can come down here and do a forever loop. And so now you could just have it say hello for 2 seconds and play a sound. And so it's going to go back and forth between these two things forever. Okay. So, do you guys understand the forever loop? I am not. I am most definitely not a voice actor. Okay. All right. So this will just sit there and run forever. And even while that's happening, we can still do the other events. Okay. And then you hit the stop sign to stop it from running. Okay. The class became a game of which animal sound is it? What sound does the fox make? Okay. So there's in computer science, there's usually only about 6 things you can do in all of computer science, and we're gonna go over like most of them today, actually. First is there's just like things like this where you can like play a sound or something like that. Like the actual things you can do, like create a file, delete a file, play a sound, draw a picture on the screen, that kind of stuff. You got your algebra kinds of things, like here we're like reading and writing to some variables. We got loops, like here we've got an internal loop, or we can do a loop that runs a certain number of times, like meow 3 times, then move on with your life. You can add a pause in there if we want. And then it waits for a second. Then it says hello again. And we'll do that eternally. So, and then the fourth thing is this, which is a conditional. So these if statements here, if, else, they all have these weird like hexagon like slots in them in Scratch. And so your parents are like, what the heck's going on? My professor's meowing like a cat. I don't know what to tell you. This is what college is. This is why you're paying, $15,000 a year or whatever it is to watch a grown man meow into the microphone. It's just facts right there. Okay. So we're learning the basics of programming also, in addition to... Yeah. So... or else I had conditionals. And so you can actually stick a conditional into a forever loop, and then it'll just keep checking that conditional over and over again. And so what a conditional is, it's saying if X, then Y. And the missing slot here is the X. And so we can have this thing be kind of anything. These are the things where you can slot something into the hexagon. You might say like, well, that's not supposed to fit, but it's the shape that matters. Okay. So is color blue touching orange? Are we touching the mouse pointer? If so, then scroll this over here. I don't know. Stop running or something, right? So it's going to do that. Meow. Pauses for a second. Then it checks the conditional. My mouse is not touching it, so it keeps going and going and going until I have my mouse over it. Then you notice that it stops the simulation. Okay. And you can basically put any command you want inside of here so that when every 3 seconds, because it says hello for 2 seconds, then it pauses for 1 second. So every 3 seconds, it's going to check to see, am I touching the mouse pointer? And if it is, then it runs whatever is inside of here. And there's all sorts of things you can do. You can have it, I don't know, do the other sound, I guess. So as long as I'm not touching it, right, it keeps checking that conditional over and over again. But if I have my mouse pointer over it, then it gives the there you go. So, so you can add intelligence to your Scratch projects that way. So it's animal science class, exactly. This is for your major, right? I want to grow up to become a computer science major. Okay. Ring a ding 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 ding. All right. Yeah, getting you guys caught up on your participation points. So these conditionals here is basically where all intelligence in a program comes from, right? Anytime you have any video game and there's monsters in it, the monsters have to decide whether or not they want to go this way or attack you or cast a spell or something. All of those decisions are made within a conditional, within an if statement. And there's a huge amount of freedom into what the conditional actually is. In this case, I was just using touching a mouse pointer, but you could, see if somebody's clicking. I don't know, like there's just, touching color. I don't know, brown is that? I don't know what color that is. Yeah, you can have just, a huge amount of things that can go into here. And so you have a huge amount of flexibility into like what kinds of things the thing can sense, and then huge amount of flexibility in what the things can do. So, are we able to add more characters in the code? Characters like down here? Yeah, you can go and add another character. You can have as many as you want, and each one of them has its own program. And so that's probably the most common question I get for Scratch is like, I can't find my program anymore. It's missing, right? But the you just have the wrong actor selected down here. You can just add more ones down here. So what you're going to do for this homework assignment is I've got a list of Scratch video games kind of things, Scratch Space Invaders and things like that. And you're just going to copy one. You're just going to follow I have all the directions on Canvas for you, but basically you're just going to follow the tutorial, and let's play it. Yep. So you're gonna do one pretty simple arcade game. Okay. Is Doom and Scratch? I'm sure it is. So Doom might be a little much, but yeah, just a simple arcade game, and there's step-by-step directions in there, and basically you just follow the instructions, and you get an A. If you add something cool to it, you get extra credit. So I'm leaving that open-ended. So when you submit your project, I open up every one of your Scratch projects and I play the game, whether it's Space Invaders or whatever one you choose. And then when you submit it, you're going to say like, oh, I made it special by recording animal noises for the Space Invaders. So every time an alien gets shot, it makes a meowing sound. You know what I mean? Like anything. Like you can do anything. And depending on if I'm impressed by it or not, judged on both artistic and technical merits, I might give you an extra point or 2 points or whatever, on the assignment. So again, you're just going to follow step by step. If you guys have programmed before, it might be easy for you, so go above and beyond, earn those extra credit points. If you've never programmed before, this should be a fun exercise. You don't really have to know programming yet because you can just, you're basically going to be replicating, you're going to be following in the footsteps of experienced programmers. And you should be able to do something like this where you just like add a sound in or something, you know, kind of like to spruce it up a little bit and get those extra credit points. Okay. What's the weirdest thing you've seen in a game? That is a massive question. Man, like the first thing that springs to my mind is Cyberpunk 2077, which was just absolutely chock full of bugs at launch. People would be motorcycling down the street, and there would be parts of the street where it'd like go down a little dip, and it broke for whatever reason the animation of the people on the motorcycles. So every time a motorcycle went down that dip, they would stand up in T-pose on top of their motorcycle. And then when they came up out of the dip, they'd go back to riding the motorcycle again. And every single motorcyclist would do this. So they're like all zipping down the street like this, and they'd stand up in T-pose for like a couple seconds and then go back to like driving again. And you could just sit there for like 5 minutes. Like my daughter was like laughing outrageously. Just all these people and then back down, you know, over and over again. They had the path on one of the cars not on the street. And so all the cars, instead of going down the street like they were supposed to, swerved off the side of the street and ran into the trash and took damage. And the game assumes that if a car takes damage, it's the player that did it, and they yell at you. And so you just sit there for like forever, and every single car that comes by swerves and like hits the concrete barrier and hits some trash, and they yell at you, asshole. You know, and you're just like, I didn't do anything, man. You know, and they just sit there and, you know, do that all day long. Like, people would go down ladders and they would just T-pose down a ladder and just slide down the ladder. In the final fight, Keanu Reeves, who's one of the characters in the game, they had his animation broken as well. It's like you're having this epic fight with all these like Arasaka, you know, heavy forces, and Keanu Reeves is just standing there like this, just watching you, T-posing the whole time, just watching, like showing dominance over the Arasaka forces. So, my daughter was actually upset that they fixed the bugs in the game. She thought the game was a lot more amusing with the bugs in it. There were some massive exploits in the game too. Yeah, there were some approaches in the game that were just completely unbalanced. Like you just instant win. Some of the hacking strategies were just unbeatable by the game. So yeah, that's Cyberpunk 2077. It's a real game. Like I'll post the link for this. Like there's just like bug compendium videos that you can watch. Yeah, these things here. That's all. I'll post that on the chat channel for you guys. You can watch it your own. I don't know what's going on here. Oh, there we go. Okay. Yeah. So, all-time favorite video game? Man, that's a tough one. Probably Europa Universalis. I've put more time on Path of Exile than any other one, but probably Europa Universalis. So, the Punk Walk, yeah. So this is, yeah, so today's just a little introduction to Scratch. You can do math in it. I don't think you're going to need it for this homework assignment, probably. Gliding, yeah, we could probably talk about gliding. So when things glide, They kind of slide like that. You can see them like move. So that's probably going to come up. Okay. Chill. Don't stop. I'm trying to put you back. I'm trying to put you back. There we go. Cyberpunk 2077 level of bugs there. Yeah, so when you want things to move around on the screen, you're probably going to use glide, and then they kind of animate smoothly across the screen. Will you make a place to submit this? When does it due? So it is. I have the assignment ready on Canvas. I haven't published it yet. I'll probably publish it once we're done here. It'll be due in a week, so you'll have a week to do this, and you'll submit it on Canvas. So what you're going to do is when you're done, and it says this in the instructions, but it's very important. When you're done, make sure you give it a name, first of all. Cat and bear. Okay. When you're done, make sure you click that giant orange share button. By default, your project in Scratch cannot be seen by anyone but you. So a lot of students will just come up here and just like copy the URL and send it to me. And then it's like, I can't view it. And then I give you a 0. And students like, why did I get a 0? I did the assignment. It's like, because when I clicked on it, I can't see it. And then they're like, oh, can I share it anyway? I'm like, sure. But I have to go through this with like 15 students every semester. And so like, I want everybody to say, click the orange button. Okay. And so you click share, and now the thing, you can copy the link right there. Okay. That's what you're going to share. All right. So I'd like everybody on chat right now to say, click the orange button. This isn't going to help the students that aren't here and don't read the directions, but please, help me out, because it's really annoying when you're grading and you're like, all right, let me see the thing, and then it's like, sorry, you don't have access to that. I'm like, okay, you get a 0, and then I get a panicked email like, why did you give me a 0 on the assignments? Because I can't view it. Well, can I share it with you? Yeah. How do I do it? Click the orange button and then send it to me. Yep. There you go. And then it's going to run off. There you go. Awkward. Let's go back to there. Yeah. Are you serious? Just wants to be overlapping. I'm not gonna let. There we go. All right, good now. Click the orange button, or you will get a 0. Thank you. Yes. So now you let's see here. Now you might notice that after I've shared it, the orange button's gone. So if you see the orange button, that means you need to share it. Okay. And when you share it, you'll get you go to the project page. Down here, there is the copy link button. That's what you're going to send to me. Okay. I think it's probably the same as this. Yeah. Once it's shared, you can just copy this URL, or you can click on this down here. And that's what you're going to attach on Canvas. So you're going to send me the URL, the link, however you want to do it. And click there, click copy, put it on Canvas. And then if you did any extra credit, like I did my own voice lines, and things like that, just put it in. I give out extra credit pretty liberally on these assignments. Like if you do something cool, give yourself credit for it. You don't get extra credit for anything that's just part of the tutorial. So if the tutorial has you like do something, like you don't get extra credit for doing things that are part of the tutorial. That's just part of getting an A on the assignment. You have to go above and beyond the tutorial, and then you get extra credit. Okay. All right. So that's it for today. If any of you guys haven't gotten your participation points now, probably should say something right now. I haven't put the grades in. Like I said, we're going through the process of hiring a TA right now, and so I like to push off all of the grunt work to them. So don't don't check your Canvas grade because nobody has participation points for this week yet. But if you haven't gotten an update, you should probably participate now. What can you say? I don't know. Like ask a question about Scratch or something. Like how you could do something in Scratch. Are you allowed to create something from the beginning? Sure. Yeah, if you want to make, something along the lines of Space Invaders or Breakout. Breakout's another classic arcade game. How to dance in Scratch. Typically, you have different costumes for the actors, and then you animate between them. So you can choose next costume, previous costume, and then you can have them dance that way. Let's see if I come back in here. Go inside. So let's say I'm gonna add I think there is a dancer and there's ballerina. Cassie Dance. There you go. Okay. So Cassie Dance here, she's gonna be this giant woman off in the ocean. Yeah, she doesn't fit. Let's scale her down a little bit. There we go. So there's gonna be this kaiju emerging from the sea. And so if I want her to dance permanently, what I can do is say when the green flag is clicked, so when the game begins, right, the program begins, we're going to do a forever loop. So control forever, click that in. And what are we going to do? We're going to go up to the looks tab, and we are going to switch the costume. Well, we'll just do next costume. And now, when we run the game, you can see it's just having her spin through all of those costumes super fast. So probably should put in a wait in there. And we'll wait like half a second between costumes. And now you can see she's grooving out in the ocean out there forever. Yep. And so that's the easiest way of doing dancing is just pick one of the sprites that comes with dance animations already. And just cycle through the costumes, and there you go. You got dancing. Good question. So Laura, yeah, you can absolutely make something from the beginning. Joanna, great question about how to dance. Can you create your own characters? Yes, absolutely. Can you create your own background? Yes, absolutely. Let me show you how to do those two. So right here, you can upload a sprite. So if you have a picture on your computer, so let's, I don't know, have a picture of a raven or something. I don't know. There you go. And so you can upload pictures that way. You can paint your own. So you can make your own thing using this sort of primitive MS Paint style editor. And then for backdrops, it's the same way. You can upload a backdrop. Do that, and then it's pretty. It's Canada, I think. And then when you hit play, she's now dancing up in the heavens. And the bear is more fitting now. It's in Canada, so you can do that, or you can paint your own backdrop as well. Good questions. Can you use pictures from the internet and not on Scratch? Yep, just download the picture to your computer and then you can upload them this way. I don't think they have a direct like URL import. So you have to download it and then upload it here or here. Yep. Any other questions? What is Scratch? Who is Scratch? Why is Scratch? How is Scratch? Where is Scratch? It's in Scratch where you use Scratch in order to complete Scratch. Sup, dog? I heard you like Scratch, so I put Scratch in Scratch so you can scratch while you scratch. Okay. Any other questions? If not, we will call it a day. This is an exciting time for a lot of you, I know. A lot of you have never programmed before. And so this will give you a very gentle introduction to programming where you can kind of see the different tools that programmers have at their fingertips, right? Have a great weekend, Mr. Scratch-A-Lot. Have a good day, Professor. in Canvas you'll post the directions. Yes, yeah, there'll be full directions on Canvas, and you'll have plenty of options as to which program you want to do. Just don't wait till the last minute. That's in general good advice for life and for college assignments. So yeah, I had fun too. All right, thanks guys. Peace.